If at the core of this wound is really self-abandonment, which again refers to a pattern of neglecting our own needs, emotions, and well-being in favor of external demands, expectations, or the needs of others, then healing really asks us to move in the opposite direction, to move from self-abandonment to self-attunement. One of the most direct ways into that self-attunement is actually through a mindfulness practice. Just to get us all on the same page, mindfulness is simply paying attention to the present moment, however it is, without judgment. And when we're talking about using that to heal self-abandonment, we're really talking about bringing that kind of awareness into the body. How does my body feel right now? What am I actually feeling emotionally? What's going through my mind? These are all experiences that a mindfulness practice can really help us tune into, become more aware of, and over time to actually use that information to make choices and decisions that serve us. So ultimately, when we practice bringing our attention to our inner experience in this way, we develop a greater sense of connection to ourselves, to our body, and really to the world around us. And this is something we can do in formal practice where you might be doing kind of a traditional guided meditation. This can also be accomplished through spending time in nature, journaling, through therapy, yoga, or any other movement practice. Any space that allows you to connect with yourself and have authentic expression. And this skill of self-attunement, that is not exclusive to mindfulness, but it does tend to be a pretty direct way into it, is deeply embedded in inner child work and reparenting practices. So we're going to spend the remainder of our time together just briefly talking about what that means, what that actually is, and then I'll guide you through a practice at the end with a few follow-up tips. So for anyone newer to this kind of work, what is the inner child? It is really the emotional aspect of ourselves that represents our earlier life experiences, as well as our feelings and our needs. This inner child really does continue to influence our thoughts, our emotions, and our behaviors throughout our adulthood. We're walking around in these adult bodies, but oftentimes it's our younger parts. Think about how this is tied to the nervous system, the parts that develop to keep us safe that are running the show for so many of us. It's the inner child that may hold these fears of abandonment or not good enoughness, inadequacy, or badness. So if that's what the inner child is, then the process of reparenting entails developing a relationship with ourselves, with your adult self and your inner child in a compassionate, safe, and supportive way. The goal here really is to provide your inner child, right? The younger parts of you that carry this wound from your mother, that carry the burden of having to constantly adapt yourself, to provide a safe space for them to express and release emotions that may have been suppressed or neglected. By acknowledging and processing these emotions, we can start to heal past traumas. We can develop self-awareness, build healthier relationships with ourselves and with others.